Y'all know what's Lex. Let's get into Jupiter in Cancer. Jupiter in Cancer, this is one of the ultimate, greatest, absolute best placements in all of astrology. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. When you have planets that are exalted and planets that are in their home sign or in domicile, these are where planets truly get to express themselves. They truly feel at home or they feel as if they are home. Jupiter is like, oh, hell yeah, nigga. I'm in the house right now, nigga. And in astrosthetics, make sure y'all pick up a copy of astrosthetics right now. We look at Jupiter as Big Buddha because Jupiter is your blessings, your source of abundance, your prosperity factor. Jupiter is, from our perspective, the second brightest planet. You got Venus, then you got Jupiter. These are the bright lights in the sky. Well, you have the moon, then you got Venus, then you have Jupiter, then you have Sirius, and these are the brightest stars or the brightest lights in the heavens. So Jupiter is the biggest planet, has the most moons, right? Out of all of the planets, Jupiter has the most moons around it. This should show you Jupiter is a very abundant energy. It's very jovial, it's very wise, and it's very abundant and giving and fruitful. In astrosthetics, we look at Cancer as the sign of our home, your internal space. So Cancer is home. This is your emotions, your native emotional body. This is where you feel at home. This is what nurtures you. Cancer is the mama. Mama. Cancer is the maternal energy factor, the energy on the maternal side that nurtures us, that emotional support. That's what makes us grow and thrive and feel like we are here to grow and develop ourselves. Even in Vedic astrology, Jupiter rules bamboo, and bamboo is a very amazing plant. But bamboo can also be an invasive species because of the growth. So Jupiter also needs balance. Jupiter needs rules. Jupiter needs borders. We have to be wise with Jupiter. You can be prosperous, you can have everything, but how you go about maintaining it, how you go about nurturing it, how you go about spreading your gifts and what is in you with the world, you got to be wise with those responsibilities. And this is why Jupiter is always about where we're being responsible, because Jupiter can also rule excess growth. Make sure y'all pick up a copy of Astrosthetics. Jupiter in general, the excessiveness can also be greed. And being greedy, taking in too much, even information, even food, even doing something in excess that's not healthy, you want to get the right excess results. You could even be doing something that's healthy at first, and then afterward, you do it excessively, it becomes invasive. You have to have responsibility. You got to be careful. You got to have borders around what you're doing, and you also want to be in control of what you're doing. So Jupiter in Cancer, it can bring in enormous growth. Even yourself, right? And this is great. You can have enormous growth in one department and enormous excess that could even be unexpected. There's an aspect of Jupiter that can bring in excessive abundance and excessive growth and excessive love as well, right? Jupiter is jovial, but when you're doing this, once again, you want to make sure that the growth is positive. Even if it's abundant growth, you want to also plan. And this is why Cancer can also rule family. When you're dealing with families, you have things like estate planning, you have things like generational wealth. And this is why Jupiter in Cancer highlights all of these things. And this sign definitely is that generational wealth dynamic. People even getting new homes, people acquiring new land, new property, even your mama, even our mothers doing great things, maybe even traveling, right? We're going to notice a lot of women a lot of the nurturers. And look, we love the woman. We know we love y'all. A lot of growth. Jupiter and Cancer, this is the most beautiful transit for the mothers. So even the Cancerians, listen, if you got Cancer in your big three, your big four, or even if you have the north or south node in Cancer, you can expect that you're going to be doing amazing with this transit. It requires you to be responsible. It requires you to plan ahead. Even getting excited for family activities and even estate planning, these are not things that you just randomly do and you just do it off of a whim, because Jupiter in Cancer, it can also come with ancestral responsibilities. And this is the spiritual side of this transit, because we know that Cancer, this is the mother, this is the maternal ancestry as well, the maternal lineage. And when you're dealing with this factor right here, you don't want to play with this at all. Okay? This is where you start highlighting those primordial chromosomes. This is where you really tap in with those genes, ancestral DNA, ancestral awakening. And this is a beautiful transit, because this is where we can learn a lot about family. You're going to notice a lot of people tapping in with cultural roots. Even look at Metro Boomin. Metro Boomin's album Futuristic Summer, that's a cultural album. You're going to notice even last year, people talking about what's culture, that's culture, hip hop culture, that culture. Yeah, we have Jupiter in Cancer. Cancer is about culture, it's about family. But the thing is, culture is supposed to spread. When you cultivate something and it spreads. This is how you get a culture. When something doesn't spread, you get a program. And this is why Jupiter in Cancer, it can also highlight groups of people being more free. We can even see people become way more free and groups of people mass migrating. We can see a lot of big changes within a lot of lands, with a lot of real estate, even internationally. It's a lot of estate planning, different families. We can even see a lot of big families and billionaire, trillionaire families making some big bumbaclaw moves, because that's what Jupiter and Cancer is about. It's about you and your family, your emotional space, your growth, your big bumbaclaw emotional growth, emotional support, nurturing, family, moving as a unit, international moves with family, even showing huge love to the people that nurtured you. And especially right now, when we got a Mercury retrograde in Leo, we have Cancer, and we know that Cancer and Leo are next to each other, or as we call it in astrosthetics, they semi-sextile each other, which means that they're 30 degrees apart. We know that Cancer and Leo, this highlights a lot of family communication, and it can highlight a lot of ancestral memory. And this is why tradition, cultural traditions, creativity, cultural creativity, all of these things will be highlighted. And this is amazing for making big discoveries in terms of how you handle your emotions. How are you handling your emotional body, even your family, your traditional relationships, your home, your house, your property, your material security, all of these things with Jupiter and Cancer. This is when these things get activated. You go the long run, because that's what Jupiter is about. Jupiter is about going the long distance and really expanding on family values. But when we're talking about growth, we're talking about positive growth. Like, we see sometimes a lot of people, they come up excessively, they get excessive results, and like even like one hit wonder. So that this is why having a wise mind and also mixing that in with growth, being responsible or maintenance, having responsibilities with growth so that you can maintain what you are growing. I love Jupiter and Cancer for the Libras and for the Pisces and for the Geminis. The Geminis, the Libras, and the Pisces, this Jupiter and Cancer benefits y'all the absolute most. For the Geminis, this is a lot of spiritual growth, all right, and even some international traveling, going on some long-term trips, a lot of spiritual growth. Listen, if you a Gemini, go do a spiritual retreat somewhere, because you know you might need one, or make sure you meditating and tapping in with that vibe, right? So out of all of the signs, Geminis have some very, very great spiritual awakenings on their end. But now when we're talking about Pisces, oh yeah, Pisces, a lot of personal growth, a lot of taking risk, a lot of long-term action growth. If you're a Pisces and if you understand your consistency factor and if you've calculated your risk, you should be going full throttle right now because you have some big business expansion coming your way. And this is important because what you're responsible for will expand. Yo, Pisces, of course, Cancers and the Libras got some beautiful vibes here, and the Geminis for sure, right? Right. The Libras, I love how this is looking. I love Libras. That's if you a Libra and you in real estate right now. If you a Libra, if you got Libra in your chart and you got some family growth right now, could be having some kids, some grandkids, your cousin having kids, your auntie having kids, your god sister having kids, and even some of the Virgos too, right? Because you know the Virgos, if you're a Virgo and you on the later side of Virgo, yeah, you can have some family expansion going on, and maybe even a lot of driving, right? Very active for you for some of the Virgos and the Libras too. I love this transit, all right, and I hope y'all all enjoying it as much as I am. And before we get out of here, right? Make sure y'all pick up a copy of Astrosthetics right now. Every single thing that I said in this video and more is in this book. Make sure y'all pick this book up now. Supertube, baby.